If you're watching this video right now, you've probably you've tried your hand at AI OFM, you've watched all the videos possible, you've tried to learn from different influencers, different topics, different things. You've just sat there and binge watched as much content as possible, you've digested everything, and now you're just trying to implement. So you probably have a model, a failed one. You probably have an IG page, a failed one. You probably may have some decent success, maybe a little bit of threads engagement, maybe a little bit of engagement. Maybe if you have a fan view page, you have a little traction going on, but you don't know how to scale and you don't know how to actually go about making it an actual viable income source. So there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of problems that you can run into, there are a lot of pitfalls that you could run into along the way. And in this video, I'm just going to guide you from A to Z and tell you exactly how to overcome the basic things, the things that a lot of people, especially newcomers, the beginners, run into in the beginning. And first thing, the thing I'd actually start with is as follows. When beginning, it's very important that you understand how you're going to go about certain things. It's very important that you understand what platforms, what kind of compiler you're going to be using, how you're going to be making your AI content, and how you're going to be generating pictures, how you're going to be generating reels, what platforms you're going to be using. It's very important to understand and establish how you're going to be doing all that stuff, and also understand how to go about properly creating NSFW content so that you can then monetize the PPV sales. Now, we do have tutorials out here on the channel. I'm going to give more in-depth tutorials in the future, but NSFW and all the NSFW content creation in general, you're not really going to find tutorials on YouTube for stuff like that. You're going to have to join private communities or join some sort of course or potentially learn yourself. But those are the only ways you're really going to properly understand how to go about making NSFW. You're not going to be able to do that on YouTube because instantly people that do that, they just get banned. So if you wanted to understand how to do that, if you wanted to go fully in depth and you really care about that, I highly suggest you just click the link down below. Everything's explained there, and I teach a bunch of other stuff. So if that interests you, make sure to give that a look. But in general, you just have to understand how you're going to go about making it. So there's certain compilers that you can use. You can decide to rent a GPU and use comfy UI. A lot of people tend to do that, which people say it's like the most configurable way. It's the best way to do it. But in my opinion, if you're a beginner, it's a lot of bullshit that you're going to be running your head into in the beginning. So I highly advise against it. I'd say it's good to use the credit system compilers like Pykaso. There are a bunch of other ones that you can try. Sugar Labs, Pykaso, both of them are very good. Now there are others, but these are the two that I use. These are the two main ones that I use. Pykaso more so for face swapping and for reel creation. That's about it. Maybe upscaling occasionally, and then Sugar Labs for everything else. For safe for work, not safe for work, you can do everything on that platform. Now, once the model creation is dialed in for you, the second thing that people usually run into issues with is social media creation. Now, you need to understand how you're going to go about marketing, because marketing is the most important part in this whole AI industry, because the model can be subpar, the model can be decent, and even decent to subpar, and you'd still make money off of it because men are dumb. A lot of them at least are dumb. Like the clients that you're going to be finding, the clientele here is retarded. So in general, yeah, you're not playing a high IQ game anyways. Even if you make a subpar model, you're still going to be able to get sales. Maybe you'll get less so than an actual good, ideal, perfect looking model, but even with a subpar one, you'd still get sales. So marketing is super important. It's actually the key factor in this whole business. I usually go about doing Instagram, Threads, and people also tend to use Twitter because Twitter is basically like Threads, Twitter, Reddit, TikTok occasionally, that kind of stuff, and dating apps. But I don't go about doing everything, because if you do everything, it's kind of attention consuming, and you just want to focus on the two main ones that bring most of the traffic anyway. The easiest one to get traffic on is Threads. For my full Threads method, just click the link down below. You'll see everything completely detailed there. But Threads is the best way to do it. And then obviously you have Instagram, which is going to be the bread and butter of the whole operation here. So after making your Instagram account, it's very self-explanatory. You pick a name, you make a picture, a profile picture for it, you make a few profile posts with your AI compiler, whatever you're going to use, Pykaso, Sugar Labs, whatever it is. Make a few pictures, put everything in a folder, make your Instagram account, put your profile picture, pick a name, put everything, start posting your posts, all that stuff. Warm up your account, watch the video down below, and then you're going to be able to see the warm-up strategy, how to go about warming up a new account. Do that and your social media should be ready. And then it's all about posting reels and just gaining traction by posting reels and using proper hashtags, following people that are doing the same thing in your niche, and just kind of understanding what works and just recreating whatever it is that you see goes viral on your For You page. And a lot of the times the things that go viral on your For You page, especially if you have AI influencers coming on, it's usually smaller pages. So you're not going to be seeing 1,000,000 followers or 2,000,000 followers or 600,000 followers. It's rarely the case. A lot of the time it's either going to be a very well-established OF girl that has that kind of following, but then her posts are easily copyable, so it doesn't even matter. And a lot of times you're going to run into AI pages as well that are usually 2,000 or sub 10,000 followers, and then you see that they get decent engagement on a certain post, and then all you really need to do is go about recreating the same post but with a little twist on it. So I'll give you a quick example of how to think about it, how to structure it in your mind. If you see a girl sitting on a bed on a trendy sound, okay, it's just sitting on a bed looking into the camera with a trendy sound, all you're really going to do is do the exact same thing. You're going to go on Pykaso to restructure the reel, and then when you're prompting it out, you're just going to say sitting on bed with a different colored sheet, basically the same place. If it's a hotel bed, then it's going to be hotel bed, but instead of a gray sheet, it's going to be a white sheet. Say the main video is a gray sheet sitting on a hotel bed, just looking at the camera, looking left and right, touching her hair, and then she got like, let's say 100,000 views on it. You do the exact same thing, but then you just switch the bed sheet to a black bed sheet or something of the sorts, and then have your model touch her hair, put the same exact sound, maybe a little text up top, and it's probably going to do well. And you're just going to continue doing it, pumping out content like that 3-4 times a day if possible, and you'll see that your models are going to start gaining traction. Now, that's how you go about Instagram. That's how you go about Threads. It's basically just consistency. That's all you really need to understand. Now, the main issues, once the whole marketing strategy has been done, once you picked your social medias that you're going to be focusing on, the main issues that people run into a lot of the times is either getting their account shadow banned because they didn't warm it up properly, or their content that they're trying to be consistent with isn't of good quality. So they post content, but it's not good. They're probably using shitty compilers, or they're using the right compilers, but then their pictures that they generate are not good. The AI model's face isn't good, or the whole quality of the video they're generating, the reel they're generating, is terrible. So then all of these things, they kind of play a part in the bigger picture, in the big puzzle that we're trying to play here. And if the video isn't good, or the model isn't good, or the quality in general isn't good, then obviously your video is not going to perform. And if it doesn't perform, then you're just wasting tokens, not making money, and you're not going to be gaining traction either. So it's kind of think of it as a big machine. And if you have issues in a certain area, there's a small little clunk that you have that you're just going to have to solve somehow, because there's something wrong going on. So basically, if you're making a model and then you're supposed to post videos online, whether it be on social media, let's say Instagram Threads, you're posting videos on Instagram Threads, and then through that they then funnel to your IG, to your FanView account, and then you get paid. So if you have an issue in one of those 3 steps, then probably there's something that you're doing within those 3 steps that's fucking you up. So a lot of the times after the model is made, people have issues with the going viral part. Most of the time it's just either they're not actually consistent. They think they're consistent, but then they're posting once every 2 days, and once every 2 days they're posting, but the content that they're posting is also shit. Then at that point, you're not really going to make any money. You're not going to get much traction. Maybe you'll get a few hundred views, but that's it. And with a few hundred views, don't even expect to get FanView followers. Don't even expect to get any subs. It's ridiculous. So there's that. And if you guys are in that situation right now, if you're posting consistently on Instagram, but the quality of your posts aren't up to par, then it just makes sense. It makes sense why you're stuck. And that's a lot of times, a lot of people come to me, they text me on Instagram, and then they're like, please review my model. And then they're saying, oh, I'm super consistent, and I have this, and I've generated this model, and she looks perfect. And then they send me the picture of the model, and it's atrocious. And then I'm like, what is this, man? What is this? And then I say, send me the video that you generated, what you posted, and how you posted it. Then they send me a fucking video, a 5-second video of a model that they just posted with absolutely no sound on it at all. No sound. Just a model that actually looks AI. That just looks completely AI, okay? Model that isn't really good. Subpar model, 5-second clip, no sound at all, just posted straight up. Get 2 likes, and then they're complaining. They're talking about, oh, I've posted this 3 times a day for the last week, and I got absolutely no traction going. Of course you got no fucking traction going. The fuck? So yeah, it's a lot of things like that. And some people have a different issue. So they have amazing content, they post amazing, they post amazing pictures, they post amazing reels, but then they're not very consistent with it. They post it, but then they post once every 3 days. Or they post it and they post once, but they don't use viral sounds, they don't do anything. They basically just post and hope the algorithm shares it to the right people with their 0 followers. They have 2 followers on their completely new account that they just finished warming up. They post a few stories and then they start posting amazing content, but then they just post it with absolutely no hashtags. Hashtags don't really matter in this, but in general, if you're just posting it with absolutely no caption, no hashtag, no nothing on a new account, a lot of the times you're gonna get stuck in 200 view jail or less. So a lot of their videos get 20 views, 50 views, 100 views, 150 views, and that's it. Now, a lot of the times when you're just beginning, you're gonna wanna kind of help the algorithm to find your groove. You're gonna wanna help them to suggest your content to the right populace. And then once you get that one video, that performs well, when I mean perform well, I mean 10,000 views plus, if possible. Anything more than that, it's awesome. And once you have that, then that algorithm could then just start refinding that same audience that reacted well to that content that did well for you. You understand? So once that happens, then a feedback loop. So you can just keep on recreating what worked, keep on doing it, and you'll just keep on succeeding. But till that happens, you kind of have to help the algorithm. You have to guide it to find the right eyes for you. Because at the end of the day, they want to feed your content to somebody, but you just have to help them out with that. You can't just post random shit and hope for the best. You can, if you're lucky, it'll work, but a lot of the times it's not how that works. Or if you can just sit there and wait, and if you're patient enough, then eventually it could work for you, but that's not the way. And that's another issue that a lot of people run into. And then the last part is funneling people over to the fan view account, which is the paid part. This is where most people do the get paid, and obviously you got the chatting and all that. So once you get the social media part down, once you have a decent AI model and you got the social media part down, now is the part where, this is the fun part. This is the part where people then funnel to your link tree or get all my links, and then they follow you on FanView, they subscribe, and then they start chatting with you. Now, most of your money will be made through the chatting. So if they follow you, they subscribe to you for $4 a month, $9 a month, whatever it is, and then they start chatting with you, this is where most of your money would be made. Now, if you want a script, this is how I always go about chatting. A lot of people get this notion to where they just need as much subs as possible, and then they try chat, but then they can't really get the person to spend money. So then they kind of rely on subs only, but then the people see what they have, because you know you can only have so much on your actual feed, and most of the time they don't even have NSFW on the feed. So they get, maybe they sell 1 or 2 pictures to each client for $10, $20, very low ticket pictures. And then once that is done, then the person unfollows. They just unsubscribe, unfollow, and then you lose your sub, and then it's not a recurring person. So you get the sub, you've worked hard, you've gotten him to walk through the door and actually put his card down, pay you the $9, but then after 2 days, 3 days, he bought 2 pictures, he's seen everything there is to see on your page, which is usually not even that full, because AI models, they usually have what, 100 pictures in, maybe. A lot of them have less than that. You probably have less than that. I bet you $100 that your page probably has less than 100 posts in general. Less than 100 posts. And it's true. So imagine you're a client, you go in, you see everything there is to see, you buy the 1 or 2 pictures, if that even, all right? And that's it, you're done. And obviously there are the PPVs that you can actually put on as a post, and people actually do buy that. So let's say you bought the 2 pictures from there, and then you chatted, you got 1 extra picture as the client, and then they leave because your chatting is fucking subpar. Your chatting is subpar, or you're not posting consistent enough on FanView. Now, as far as how I'd go to fix this issue, I'd say you need to work on a script. You need to have a script that you're going to be DMing each and every new follower that you get. You're going to make sure that you're chatting with them in a specific script. And what a script is basically guiding the person into a certain situation, into a certain fetishized situation, in which you can then capitalize and get them to buy explicit pictures from you to some extent. I'd say go about making a script. If you need a script for FanView, if you want a script that actually works, then click the link down below. I have everything completely structured for you. If you really just want to learn from zero to hero, you learn the entire thing, no bullshit, and without all of the trials and tribulations that you have to go through by yourself, then click the link down below. Everything is structured. Just join the community and you'll see everything. It's in PDFs, everything's ready, everything's in video explained. Just click it, you'll learn. You can also copy paste the entire thing. You don't even need to write anything yourself. Everything's just done for you, all right? So you can either do that, or you can go about writing your own script. It doesn't really matter. Just as long as you work with a script. Different people in different situations, and it's gonna really make it harder for you. So I'm just saying, if you want this to be a lot more simple, if you want this to be a lot more scalable, this is the best way to go about it. So there's that. And obviously you also need to be posting content consistently on your fan view. So as far as posting content, there isn't like a specific schedule that works the best. But what I personally do that I found is decent, because you always want to update the content and you always want to post PPVs. Like you want to always put NSFWs there and post new stuff so that people that join can always enjoy new posts, new content, and want to buy new stuff. So I'd say post once every 2 days. If you can post every day, obviously opt for that. Well, a lot of people find it tedious, and eventually you're going to want to run more than one model. So if you're running more than one model and you're doing everything by yourself and you haven't scaled out and you haven't hired chatters and you haven't done all this, then the best thing you could do is just post once every 2 days for each model and you're set. Trust me, that's basically enough. You post once every 2 days, and then once a week maybe you post an NSFW video, like an NSFW clip or PPV post in general, and that should do it. That should do it for you. So, quick recap. Understand your compiler, how you're going to go about making your AI model. So it's very important to understand how to do it one time, make your LoRa one time, make your model one time on one website compiler, and just stick with it on that model to the end of time till you stop doing this, okay? Just do that. Make everything as simple as possible so that you don't get confused, so that you don't sit there and start content farming and then end up giving up. Because a lot of the times, this is why I'm stressing this a lot, because I have a lot of people that I've spoken to, a lot of people that have DM'd me that have tried to start, but then eventually they end up quitting just because of the overwhelming amount of options they have in doing this. Because, you know, overall it's a decently simple model, it's a very decently simple thing, but because there's just so many different options, so many different platforms, a lot of people just watch videos and then they don't stick with one thing. They try this one thing and then they see another video another day and then they say, oh wait, maybe this might be better, so they stop doing their progress on this and then they move on to the other thing, and then it kind of fucks up the whole groove. They get some pictures from here, some pictures from there, and the model doesn't look 100% the same, and then they kind of just get discouraged because they think they're doing something wrong. By the end of the day, it's just because they're everywhere. Just make sure you're focused. You have your AI model created, AI compiler is ready, right? So you're using one AI model compiler, you have your AI model created there, stick with that. Now, social media, this is the biggest issue. A lot of people just have problems garnering traffic, which is actually the hardest part of this whole business, getting traffic. But once you have your Instagram account, especially if it's a new account and you made it, make sure you warm it up properly. There are videos explaining this all over YouTube. There's mine that I made last week. And when you're making your content, you want it to be high quality content and not bullshit garbage that actually just looks fake. You want it to look somewhat realistic at least. Okay, so that's what we're going to be aiming for. Something that's somewhat realistic, something that looks good, something that's attractive. And as long as it's that and it's high quality, your content's going to be fine. Then we just need to understand how to go about marketing it and how to go about posting it on Instagram. So you're just going to have to follow similar pages to whatever it is that you're trying to make. If you have a girl that's a gamer girl, just follow gamer girl pages. Actual OF girls, actually OF gamer girls, you can follow those. If you find any other AI girls kind of like what you're trying to recreate, then follow those as well. And then you can just see what videos perform well on their account and then recreate those for yourself with a little spin on it. And the third and final thing is your fan view page. So once you get to that, you just need to make sure that you keep on posting content on it. Just don't forget about it. Don't post one time 100 pictures and forget about your fan view forever. Make sure that you're consistently posting new stuff on it. And always, in my opinion, the best way to go about it, because it's somewhat automated and it just makes things a lot easier for you, have a script to work with, so that once you're chatting with clients, once you're chatting with new people, you can steer them in a calculated way towards buying new pictures. And that's the most profitable way, and that's the best way. That's actually the only way you're really going to make substantial income from this, because just from subscriptions alone, you're not really going to make that much money. Most of your money will come from chatting. So it's very important, it's pertinent that you double down on this and understand how to go about it. Now, if you need a chatting script, told you already where to go. Check down below on the link and you should see it in our community. You can download the PDFs and have everything just completely ready for you. So there's that, or you can make your own chatting script. I highly advise that you go about doing it that way. Now, once all of this is aligned, you should have a fully oiled, perfectly working machine that's making you money. And that's how you know you got this shit right. And at that point, you know, once everything's working for you, once everything's going fine, I believe you should be making at least a few thousand a month. And a decent income to be earning with this, like honestly speaking, realistically, even if you have 2,000 followers on Instagram and maybe 2,000 followers on Threads, realistically, you should be making anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month from subs and chatting. And if you can make anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month, realistically, that's decent. That's really decent income for the amount of work you're putting in. And scaling that shouldn't really be very hard. As long as you're doing this and you're just gaining more traffic, all you really need to do realistically is gain more traffic and understand how to take on more clients and chat with them in a faster pace. Once you can get more traffic and learn how to chat better, that's how the scalability will work. It's that and creating more models and doing the exact same thing multiple times. But it's all about traffic. It's a traffic game and making sure that your product is good, which is the AI model. Now, hopefully this was somewhat insightful for those of you who have issues understanding the business module and understanding how this shit works. Hopefully this helped you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.